Hello and welcome to CKE 10,001's gaming channel. In this video, we'll be looking at my No Game No Life 8 standby Steph Jibril deck profile. This deck build runs 17 level 0s, 13 level 1s, 5 level 2s, 7 level 3s, and 8 climax cards. So the first card we want to take a look at is the Shiro Brainstormer. It has two effects. The first is when this card is placed on stage from your hand, you can look at the top card of your deck and put it on top of your deck or the bottom of your deck. And the second effect is activate Brainstorm, pay 1 stock, rest this card, flip over 4 cards from the top of your deck, put them in your waiting room, and then for each climax revealed, you can search your deck for up to 1 game character, reveal it to your opponent, put her hand, and shuffle your deck. And I'm running 2 copies of Knowledge Stemming Weiss Jibril. It has 2 effects. The first is when this card is placed on stage from your hand, you can you must put the top 2 cards of your deck in your waiting room. If there's a climax reveal among those cards, you can put the top card of your opponent's deck into your opponent's waiting room. If you do, choose 1 card in your opponent's waiting room, put it on top of his or her deck. And then the second effect is when this card is placed on stage from your hand, you can discard a climax. If you do, choose 1 game character in your waiting room and return it to your hand. Then I'm running 2 copies of Former King's Granddaughter, Steph. This card has 1 ability. When this card is put into your waiting room from the stage, you can discard a card from your hand. If you do, you choose 1 event card, the man ridiculed as a foolish king, in your waiting room, and return it to your hand. Then I'm running 2 copies of Immense Curiosity Jibril. It has 2 effects. The first is continuous assist. All of your characters in front of this card gets plus 500 power. The second is auto. When a climax is placed on your climax area, choose 1 of your characters and that character will spawn 1,000 power. Then I'm running 4 copies of Phil Nilvalen. It has 2 effects. The first is when this card attacks, if you have 1 or less other characters, you can put the top card of your deck into your waiting room. If that card is a level 0 or lower character, put that character on any position of your backstage. Second effect is auto. When this card becomes reversed, if this card's battle opponent is level 0 or lower, you may put the top card of your opponent's clock into his or her waiting room. And if you do, put the character into your opponent's clock. Then I'm running 4 copies of Prodigy of Ingenuity Shiro. It has 2 effects. The first is when this card is placed on stage from your hand, look at the top 2 cards of your deck, put them on top of your deck in any order. Second effect, at the beginning of your opponent's attack phase, you may move this card to an open position of your center stage. So it's a runner that also gives you information about the top cards of your deck. So very useful. Start plussing early. And then I'm at level 1. I'm running 4 copies of the event card, The Man Ridiculed as a Foolish King. It has 2 effects. The first is look at up to 4 cards from the top of your deck, choose up to 1 game character from among them, reveal it to your opponent, put it in your hand, put the rest into your waiting room, then put this card into your memory. And then the second effect is the continuous memory. During your turn, if this card is in your memory, all your game characters gets plus 500 power. And then I'm running 3 copies of Pride of Power Jibril. It has 2 effects. The first is when a climax is placed on your climax area, this card gets plus 1500 power until end of turn. The second effect is climax combo. When that thing called death is placed on your climax area, you can pay 1 stock. If this card is in your center stage, you can pay the 1 stock. If you do, choose 1 of your other game characters and stand it. And then I'm running 3 copies of Chief of Elkia's Domestic Affairs, Steph. It has 1 effect. Continuous. If you have 2 or more other game characters, this card gets 1500 power and the auto encore hand encore ability. Then I'm running 2 copies of Eastern Federation Ambassador Izuna. It has 1 effect. Auto accelerate. At the beginning of your climax phase, you can take a hit. If you do, this card gets plus 1000 power until 1000 power in the following ability until end of turn. When this card's battle opponent becomes reversed, look at up to 4 cards from the top of your deck, choose up to 1 game character from among them, reveal it to your opponent, put it in your hand, put the rest into your waiting room. So this card can help you plus without a climax card. That way you can maintain card advantage that way. Then I'm running 1 copy of Sudden Surprise Strike Shiro. It has 2 effects. 1 is the backup effect for 1500 power, and then the second effect is when you use this card's backup effect, you can pay 1 stock, put 1 card from your hand into your clock. If you do, choose 1 of your opponent's characters a level higher than your opponent's level and put it at the bottom of your opponent's deck. So it's an early play backup punisher. Then I'm running 2 copies of Overflowing Self-Confidence Jibril. It has 2 effects. The first is if you have 2 or more other game characters, this card gets plus 2000 power. And then the second effect is Auto Encore. Put 1 game character from your hand into your waiting room. So it has hand encore. Then I'm running 1 copy of Obsession with Victory Izuna. It has 1 effect. When this card's battle opponent becomes reversed, if the level of this card's battle opponent is higher than your opponent's level, you can put the top card of your opponent's clock into his or her waiting room. If you do, you may put that character into your opponent's clock. So it's an early play clock bomber. Then I'm running 1 copy of Heroic Mood Steph. It has 2 effects. The first is continuous assist. All your characters in front of this card gets plus X power. X equals to that character's level times 500. The second effect is activate Brainstorm, pay 1, rest 2 of your characters, flip over 4 cards from the top of your deck, put them into your waiting room. For each climax reveal, choose up to 1 character in choose 1 character in your waiting room and return it to your hand. So it's Salvaging Brainstormer at level 2. Then I'm running 1 copy of the yellow backup Objection Sora. When you use this card's backup, you can pay 1 stock, put 1 character from the stage into your waiting room. If you do, you can choose one of your opponent's level 2 or higher characters, and that character has -1 soul until end of turn. Then I'm running 3 copies of Blank's Subordinate Jibril. It has 2 effects. The first is when this card is placed on stage from your hand, you can put the top card of your clock into your waiting room, so it heals 1. And the second effect is when this card attacks, you can discard 2 cards from your hand into your waiting room. If you do, deal 1 damage to your opponent, so it heals and deals 1. And then I'm running 4 copies of Inheritor of Will Steph. It has 2 effects. The first is when this card is placed on stage from your hand, look up to 3 cards from the top of your deck, choose up to 1 card from among them, put it into your hand, put the rest into your waiting room. And then the second effect is when this card attacks, if Expert at Getting Mixed In is in your climax area, you can put 2 cards from your hand into your waiting room. If you do, deal X damage to your opponent, and this card gets plus 3,000 power until end of turn. X equals to the number of the man ridiculed as a foolish king in your memory. So that's the event card. And yeah, for level 1 event card. And then the next cards I'm running are the class cards. I'm running 4 copies of Expert at Getting Mixed In for the level 3 Steph combo, and 4 copies of that thing called Death Climax card for the level 1 combo, the Pride of Power of Jibril. Alright, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, check EncoreDecks.com and the link in the description below to see an overview of this deck build.